Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. You know, in the world of muscle cars, 69 Camaros, always at the top of the list. Throw in Tuxedo Black, white stripes, even better. Throw in Super Sport, throw in Convertible, throw in this, throw in the 4-speed, throw in the gauges, and that's what we're talking about. Anyway, talk about a fun summer, family, weekend, beach car, whatever it is. This car here definitely fits the bill. And on top of it, it's got a little extra juice than it came with from the factory. And we're going to walk around it, and you're going to get to hear it, and you get to see it roll down the road. I think you'll be quite impressed. And the next thing you know, you'll be hitting the buy it now button, and you will be doing what I'm doing, and that's talking about this car. Maybe not talking about it, maybe driving it. So come on up, let's talk about the paint first, because that's always one of the big contentions on cars, especially if you're looking online at these things like you are right now. Pictures don't show all the details, and I want you to be able to see how every word can be seen in there. It's not, you know, in the world of orange peel, a lot of people don't know what orange peel means. Orange peel means that the paint looks a lot like an orange. It looks grainy and difficult to read. And when you can see like exactly what time it is in the paint, you know you're getting some nice stuff. Here, another nice touch. This has been clear coated over. The white stripes have been, so that they're not going to tear over time. This car is freshly in, but it's missing a few small items that have arrived. I just didn't get them on the car in time. We typically put the Cal induction emblems here on there, but we cut the pins off so that if you don't want them, you can just peel them right off, but they're stick-on and they look really nice on here. I just happen to love that touch on there. Also the boot, we had to steal the boot for another customer who was picking up his car, and somehow we missed the boot in the whole detail. So anyway, the car has a boot that goes on the back, the Cal induction emblems, but other than that, it looks really ready to go. You got rally wheels, you got the BF Goodrich radial TAs, you got the call-outs for the engine. We talked about the Tuxedo Black paint. We got our front and rear spoilers all ready to go. It's just great lines. That's what makes these cars so much fun to drive around, because everybody loves to look at these things. Even if you are a Prius driver, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but maybe that's, you know, cars are not your thing. You see this car rolling down the road, you have to go, wow, that is one cool car. Anyway, let's take a peek under the hood and we'll talk about a little bit of the motivation. The Cal induction hood emphasizes the muscularity of the muscle car, and I think that once you pop it here and you check out the detail here, you'll like this even more. So come check this out, okay? We've got the Cal induction air cleaner, ceramic coated exhaust, which is really nice, and the reason why that's important is because from years from now, this exhaust system won't be rusty. You know, nothing's worse than opening the hood and just seeing rusty exhaust there, while the rest of the engine looks really good, okay? This has power steering. A couple things we forget to ask about, this car does have power disc brakes as well. You know, today's modern car comes with all those things, and in this case here, because we're used to it every day, we forget to ask about it when we're deciding to get our new muscle car. Hey, does that car have power steering? Does it have power disc brakes? This car does have all that. On top of it, this car comes with a 1-year warranty, okay? And it includes free and closed door-to-door shipping at the offered price, man. So I'm just telling you, this is why so many people buy cars here. You know, we talked about the couple things you get with a Fleming's car here with the shipping and the warranty, but more importantly, we've gone through the car front to back, making sure that all the safety items and things like that work. You know, nothing's worse than somebody would put their kid in the back of a car and the seat belts in the back just be laying on the seat, not actually bolted to the floor. We check all that stuff, from the brakes, we change the oil, the coolant, the brake fluid, all that stuff gets checked over to make sure that it's ready to go when you get it. It's like turnkey. You say to yourself, well, you know, your car's a little bit more money than everything else. Well, let me just say this. I buy these cars just like you would buy these cars. The difference is I have a full staff here who, this is what they do for a living. They make sure that this car is ready to go for you, and it's turnkey. You cannot do it for less. You can't build one for less. It's impossible. I'm telling you, only because I've tried, and 3,000 of these later, I would think that we have some idea of what we're doing. So when I say to you, like if you're ready to wheel in something today, this is really one of those great cars you can do that in, and it's not ridiculously priced. And on top of it, it's just great looking. So, all right, let's check out the trunk too, because that's part of the detail of this car. This is one of the great views of a muscle car. You know, you get the Super Sport callouts here, the slash cut exhaust, the way that the taillights are angled in like this, the white stripes. It's just a pretty cool looking setup there. All right, so what we try to do is we try to give you a car that you could drive to a local show, open up all this stuff and hang out if you want to, go to a cruise in at night. All right, and here's a couple small upgrades that are nice, because GM put the speakers, the rear speakers, inside the convertible top mechanism. It made it very hard to hear. In this case here, they've upgraded them here with a set inside. This has the original shakers back here that came only on the convertibles. All right, Trunk's all detailed with a nice new mat. Everything's wet sanded and buffed. New gaskets and seals. New SS emblems. New chrome and stainless. Antenna works. This here has an upgraded sound system in it. Now, if you'd like to, we can keep the car very authentic and we can put a stock AM, FM, or AM radio in the dash, a dummy one that doesn't really work. And then we could move the digital unit into the glove box. That way the car looks bone stock, but you still got your great tunes, because this has iPod, CD, satellite, stuff like that. I don't know, up to you, but whatever you want. Anyway, let's go check out the inside, because this is where you're going to spend most of your time. So a couple small things that make this car here look a little bit nicer than maybe some of the others that you're looking at is, for instance, it has the pedal dress up. This is a trim that we order for all of our cars here, because we like them to add the extra. This has the built-in kick panel speakers for the sound system, but stock-wise, we have the console and gauges. Well, you may say, well, that's really nice looking. Well, let me just tell you something. By the time you do console, gauges, sending units, have to move the tachometer to here, buy a clock and all that stuff, that's $2,000. $2,000. So don't take this for being insignificant, because it's a pretty big deal, okay? Let's see, what do we got? So as I look at a restoration, sometimes I see, okay, well, somebody spent some money on a nice digital sound system. On top of it, the one small thing I look at sometimes, crazy to see, is his tires first, because a BF Goodrich radial T is really the most expensive kind of muscle car tire you can get out there, okay? And on top, the clock worked. And I said, wow, this is pretty cool that somebody went to the details to make the clock work. And you say to yourself, well, what's the big deal about the clock working? Well, the big deal is 40 years later, a lot of this stuff doesn't work. A year later, when this car was brand new, the clock didn't work. So this has the footwell lighting that works. You can see that it's on down there right now. That's all there. It just gives you an indication of what kind of restoration we're talking about. I just love having the tachometer there, especially with the 4-speed and the right chrome ball there. All right, how about I fire it up for you though, since I rambled incessantly. I love when a car fires up like that, idles nice and smooth. You know, I love these triple black cars because they look great with the top up, but as you know, this is why you buy it. Bam. Because I took all my hair off. Well, actually, it fell out on its own, but I just shaved it up to make it look better. Anyway, look at that. Bam. Ready to roll. All right, we talked about a lot of stuff. A couple things I forgot to tell you about. First off, this does have a Posi traction rear. It's 342 Posi, which is nice. And the reason why that's nice is it gives you just enough snap to get down the road, but in fourth gear, it cruises along the highway really nicely. And the Posi traction with this extra horsepower is really nice. I haven't discovered whether, you know, how long the lines will it lay for those two rear wheels, but I'm sure somewhere along the line you'll find out. Anyway, we talked about the console and gauges, power steering, power disc brakes, power convertible top, all the great markings and callouts on the car, and of course the upgraded digital sound system. I mean, it's a perfect kind of muscle car to have a great time cruising. And this is a great winter car as well, because the heating system works really nicely. You can put the windows up if you want, and even in the wintertime, you know, I don't know where you live, but a lot of times, even when it's, you know, 40s outside, the sun's still out, it's just a great way to break up the winter doldrums. Anyway, if you can find a way to get this 69 Camaro Super Sport 350 Convertible, professionally reproduced, all rebuilt, ready to roll, call us, 301-816-1000. Even the horn works.